بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا، وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. أمسينا وأمسى الملك لله رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك خير هذه الليلة، فتحها ونصرها ونورها وبركتها وهداها، ونعوذ بك من شرها وشر ما فيها وشر ما بعدها. يا رب لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا وإخلاصا وتواضعا يا رب العالمين. Inshallah, before we start this question and answer, Brother Inayat from Vista, his father-in-law passed away. We'll make dua for him, inshallah. And also there are some people who are sick. We'll make dua for them, inshallah. And things with this COVID is getting a little bit tense, and we'll make dua, inshallah, for al-afiyah. اللهم اغفر له وارحمه وأكرم نزله ووسع مدخله واغسله بالماء والثلج والبرد ونقه من الذنوب والخطايا كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس. اللهم ابدله دارا خيرا من داره وأهلا خيرا من أهله. اللهم إن كان محسنا فزد في إحسانه، وإن كان مسيئا فتجاوز عن سيئاته. اللهم اجعل قبره روضة من رياض الجنة. اللهم ارحمه وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وذكرنا وأنثانا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا. اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيي على الإيمان، ومن توفيته منا فتوفاه على الإسلام. اللهم ارزق أهله الصبر والسلوان. اللهم ارزق أهله الصبر والسلوان. اللهم لا تفتنا بعده ولا تحرمنا أجره، واغفر لنا وله يا رب العالمين. اللهم رب الناس أذهب البأس واشف، أنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاء، شفاء لا يغادر سقما. Oh Allah, we ask you in this blessed night to give the brothers and sisters who are sick speedy recovery and give them shifa. And we ask you, Ya Allah, in these tough days of this coronavirus, to give us, inshallah, al-afiyah. Oh Allah, give us 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 al-afiyah. اللهم الطف بنا فيما جرت به المقادير. اللهم الطف بنا فيما جرت به المقادير. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا، وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد. السلام عليكم. وعليكم السلام. I intended to sacrifice animals and give fresh meat to needy families. Now my parents and my sister are in need of assistance. Can I change my mind? And number one, what do you mean by I intended? If it's a vow and nadr, mean that you said, Ya Allah, if you give me this, I will slaughter 2 sheep or 3 sheep and give it to the poor. If that is the case, you have to fulfill your vow. You cannot change your intention. But if it's just without vow, without nothing, you can change your mind. But the question comes here. Your parents and your sister, if she is not married and she is poor, now you are obliged to spend on them. Your parents and your sister, you are obliged to spend on them. So my advice, give them from your money if your parents are in need, and don't give something that you intended for the poor. If I didn't understand the question, please, you can send your question and again with some clarification. I think it's the same question maybe. My parents and sister have properties, but they need assistance as they can't sell their properties now. Can I give the cash to them instead of fresh meat? Is the same answer. You are responsible for your parents and sister, and you have to take care of them, inshallah. Unless your sister, she is married or she has money or whatever, but it seems that they are in need, so you are responsible to take care of them, inshallah. If I am in Los Angeles and driving back to San Diego with my family and it's Maghrib time, traffic is bad, can I postpone Maghrib and combine at Isha time? Yes, you can do that. So when you arrive to San Diego, you pray Maghrib, 3 rak'ah with the Iqama, then you stand up and you make Iqama and you pray Isha 4, then you pray the Sunnah of Maghrib and Sunnah of Isha. I put someone in charge to distribute my zakat, but amount is substantial and taking time to distribute. If I die today, am I responsible for not paying zakat? If you already give a trustworthy your money, your calculation, it has to be, if it's not more, it should not be less. Because zakat, I cannot say, well, maybe or not. It's 2.5% of the zakatable money. So if you took your zakat and you give it to a trustworthy, inshallah, to distribute it on your behalf, he is responsible. What about if he lost it or something happened to it? Am I responsible? Yes, you are still responsible for your zakat. What is the importance of istiqama? Istikhara, istishara. All this start with I. Istiqama is straight forwardness. And al-istiqama mean that you stay on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala till you meet him. You don't go left and right. And this path is mustaqim. Istiqama, mustaqim, istiqama is from the same root. That's why we say, ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Guide us to the straight path. And istiqama, that you are on this path. You don't go left, you don't go right. Istiqama. And we say khat mustaqim, which is straight line between 2 points. So the sirat al-mustaqim, the straight path, the beginning of it is with you, and the end of it is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And may Allah, one man came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he said, Ya Rasulullah, give me an advice. And make it simple and brief. He said, say, I believe in Allah, and istaqim. Istaqim. Don't deviate. Because the opposite of istiqama is when you go left or right. Istaqim. And also, the Prophet ﷺ one time, he visited one of the companions. He was sick. And he asked him, how are you doing? And so on. And the companion, mashallah, he was talking about something amazing. He said, like I see the Jannah, I see the hellfire. He reached a level of Iman that, subhanallah, he started describing the unseen. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, now you know, make istiqamah. Stay on that. And this is the meaning of the dua that we say, Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulubi wal-absar, thabbit qulubana ala dinik. Keep our heart on your straight path, inshallah. May Allah give us istiqamah, inshallah. Because subhanallah, sometimes the person, he might deviate in the beginning, in the middle, maybe at the end. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said a person may be worshiping Allah correctly and he is on the right path or she is on the right path until they are close to die. Then they deviate in the well. Yani depriving somebody from inheritance and so on. This person, subhanallah, he's been on istiqamah all the way till before he dies or she dies and this. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us istiqamah until we meet him, inshallah. Now istikhara and istishara. These two are highly recommended for the Muslim. And they are the gifts, especially istikhara, the replacement of what people of al-Jahiliyyah, the days before Islam, they used to do. So when these people, and subhanallah, that tells you the distortion of the mind. When somebody wants to decide on something and he doesn't know, and he wants an idea, what he does or what she does, they will take a stone and throw it on some bird. If the bird goes to the right, they say this is good sign. They will go for that matter that they intend to do. If the bird fly to the left, they say not a good sign and you don't go. And I don't know what the bird has to do with your decision, but this is, subhanallah, the mind without iman, without Islam. So Islam replaced us with istikhara. So when you want to decide on something, especially important matter, marriage, job, whatever, you need to do two things. And number one, istishara. Istishara is consultation. You go to the people that they are expert in that matter. Istishara is not with anybody, because some people might give you the wrong opinion because they are not expert. So if you want to go for a business, you need to go and consult with the people that they know about business. If you want to go for marriage, you have to go and consult with the people that they know about marriage. You don't just go and say, well, I talk to people. No. Many people, they might give you the wrong consultation. So what you do, you consult. And it was narrated, ما ندم من استشار. Anybody who consult, he will never regret. Subhanallah, because istishara, people are giving you their mind. They are giving you the best they have, which is their mind. And we know that istishara and shura is the same root. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised this ummah by saying, وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ. Their affairs is done in mutual consultation. You have to make istishara. Does not mean the istishara or the opinion for people is binding for you. No, but it enlightens you. The second thing that you have to do is istikhara. Istikhara, now what does it mean? Ya Allah, I can see what is good for me now, but I don't know if this project that I'm intending to do is good for me in the future. I don't know if this marriage is going to be good for me in the future. I don't know if this promotion is going to be good for me in the future. I don't know if this business will be good for me in the future. Nobody knows the future. So how to know about the future is to delegate your affairs to Allah through istikhara. Istikhara, that you pray two rak'ah beside the farida, beside the 5 daily prayer. And after you see salam, salam, you make the dua. There is a dua for it. You find it in the fortification of the Muslim. Allahumma inni astaqdiruka biqudratik wa astakhiruka bi'ilmik fa innaka ta'lam wa la a'lam wa anta 'allamul ghuyub. Allahumma in kunta ta'lam anna hadha al-amr, and so on. So you are asking Allah by His power and knowledge, if this matter is good for you in your deen and dunya and akhirah, and you mention the name of that project, marrying this person or making this business or moving to this city or whatever. If that is the case, Allah make it easy for me. And if you know that this matter and you name it, it's not good for me in my deen and my dunya and my hereafter, take it away from me and give me something else better and help me to be pleased with it. And it was narrated, وَمَا خَابَ مَنِ اسْتَخَارَ. The person who makes istikhara, he will never lose. But there is one thing here, very important. I want you, brothers and sisters, to pay attention. Many people, after they go for the project and whatever, and it doesn't work. Then they say, look, I did istikhara, and look what happened. And number one, istikhara has to be done right. And what does it mean, istikhara to be done right? When you go for istikhara, you don't have no preconceived idea. I want this, I want this. No, you go and you delegate to Allah and you are neutral. You don't know what is good for you. That is number one. And number two, which is very important, many times Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may give you signs that this project is not good for you. But people, subhanallah, the ego and the emotion takes over, and especially if they are attached to something, they ignore those signs. Then I tell people, you want Allah to send Jibreel personally to tell you this project is not good? It's not going to happen. Jibril, that's it. He comes only in the time of the Prophet ﷺ to talk to him directly. Now there are signs. So when you see signs, you need to be careful. At this time of the year, I get emails from coworkers with happy holidays. Is it okay if I reply back happy holidays without miracle? Yes, just happy holidays and that's it. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh wa alaikum salam. Is there a specific dua to do before taking an exam or test in school? Please make prayer for me. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for you, and may Allah give you tawfiq and success in your exam and test, and give it to every Muslim and Muslimah, inshallah. But there is a dua. I want you to remember it. This dua, subhanallah, make anything hard easy. I will say it in Arabic and I will try to translate it. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla wa anta taj'alu al-hazna idha shi'ta sahla. Allah, there is nothing easy, which is true, except what you make easy. Oh Allah, make the hard things for me easy. This dua is beautiful and powerful, by the way. It works. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla. There is nothing easy except what Allah makes it easy. Wallahi, subhanallah. Wa anta, oh Allah, you can make the hard things easy. You said it's not good to wear clothes with animal print. Does wearing a shirt with animal figure like a Puma shirt makes prayer invalid? No, I think these are stitches. If you try to avoid it, that will be best. But this is different than the picture that I'm talking about of animals and so on. Some scholars question the authenticity of hadiths narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, as he spent only about 3 years with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Can you elaborate on this? Well, this is not it's not new. It's been there for a long time. Subhanallah. And many people, they were asked, why you are attacking Abu Hurairah? And this is their reply. And some of them are Shia, extreme Shia. They said, really, we don't have any problem with Abu Hurairah. But the problem that we have, because he narrated a lot of ahadiths. And now, as far as 3 years, what's the big deal? Where is the problem? Number one, Abu Hurairah, he said it. He said, some people might think that I'm memorizing a lot of hadith and so on, and they are questioning me and this. He said, because when I become Muslim, I dedicated my life 24 hours to the Prophet ﷺ. So I memorized while my brothers, the companions, they were busy with their businesses and other stuff of life. That's why Abu Hurairah was the leader of the people of Ahl Sufa. Ahl Sufa are the poor people that they used to live in the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. So Abu Hurairah, he dedicated himself 24 hours. This is number one. And number two, we know that the people, the Arabs, their gift is what? In their memory. Memory. If somebody else, after Abu Hurairah, Imam Shafi'i, he used to cover 1 page in order for him to read the first page, because he memorized them fast. Allah gave them that gift. That is number two. And number three, which is the most important one, Allah made dua for, the Prophet ﷺ made dua for Abu Hurairah. Made dua for Abu Hurairah. And also, if you are questioning Abu Hurairah, why you don't question Ibn Abbas? Ibn Abbas was young. And we know that Ibn Abbas, he was called Tarjuman al-Quran, the master of explaining the Quran. The same also, he was dedicating himself, he was not playing when he was a kid. And also the dua of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, اللهم فقهه في الدين وعلمه التأويل وفقهه في الدين. Allah give him the knowledge of tafsir, the explanation of the Quran, and give him the understanding of the deen. That's why Ibn Abbas is an ocean when it comes to explaining the Quran. So how much he lived while the Prophet was alive? Not a lot, because he was very young. And as I said, this one, it's new. And I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, the target is not Abu Huraira. The target is not the Sunnah. And also the target is not the Sunnah, is the Quran. Because now if there is no more Quran, no more Sunnah, okay, how are we going to deal with the Quran? How? Anybody can explain it the way he wants. Because if you get rid of the Sunnah, what will happen is like you have a class of students with a book without teacher. Anybody can understand the book the way he wants. And subhanAllah, there is no book without teacher. So we have the book is the Quran, and the teacher is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is the one who explained the book. And one of the job of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first job is to explain the book for the people. For instance, the Quran says for the thief, man or woman, cut their hand. That's it. That's what Quran said. So if somebody steals and there are the condition, he made the condition, there are a lot of conditions, by the way, before you cut the hand. I'm just giving this example. Hand in Arabic is from here till here is called hand. From here till here is called hand. From here till here is called hand. So which part we're gonna cut? Depends. If the person who steals is my friend and I'm the judge, I might say cut here. If I don't like him, I say cut from here. So the Sunnah explained to us. And it says it should be from here. Allah says make tawaf in Hajj. So, okay, how are you going to make tawaf? What are the probabilities? The brothers who are in statistics telling me. From where you can start from the Kaaba. We are talking about thousands of options. Sunnah comes and said, no, start from the black stone and you go clockwise, counterclockwise. So this claim, as I said, is doesn't work anymore. But still some people, subhanallah, because Sunnah restrict them. Like the wudu. Quran said, إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين. This وأرجلكم, if you are intended to pray, Quran mentioned only the fard. Wash your faces, wash your hand till the elbow, and wipe over your head and your feet. Now, some people, they said, وَامْسَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ. رؤوسكم has kasra. وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ has fatha. And there is another recitation which is authentic, وَأَرْجُلِكُمْ. So if we see وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ, we have to take it back to the face and the hand. We have to wash it. If we take it to وَأَرْجُلِكُمْ, we have to take it to the head and we have to wipe only over our feet without socks. We're not talking about socks. Without socks. That's why, again, you find Shia, they don't wash their feet. They just wipe. So where is the truth here? Because according to scholars, that if you just wipe over your feet without socks, your prayer is invalid because your wudu is invalid. We go to the Sunnah. There is no single incidence in the life of the Prophet ﷺ where he wipes over the feet without socks. Never. Always he used to wash his feet, unless he has the khuf or the socks, the leather socks or the regular socks. Then he wipe over on the top. So all these things, my brothers and sisters, we need to be careful because the sunnah is the fence. Is the fence, mashallah. And these people, because sunnah restrict them. That's why Umar ibn al-Khattab, Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, when he sent Ibn Abbas to argue with the Kharijites, those that they went against him, they were with him and they left him because of distorted, their understanding is very distorted. Look what Ali told him, don't argue with them only with the Quran. Because Quran, anybody can take the verse the way they want, but argue with them with the Sunnah. So I hope, inshallah, this will help you. And there is one great book, but it's in Arabic, amazing book called Difa'an an Abi Huraira, Defending Abu Huraira. And this book was written 30 or 40 years ago. MashaAllah, beautiful book. Does the money a Muslim woman earn working, and the mahr, the dowry, her husband gives her, also belong to him? To whom? Because if he gives her the dowry, it should not belong to him. Is it his property too? Where in the Quran is this or in Hadith? No. If the woman works, her money is hers. The dowry is hers, except if there is conditions before the marriage. Now we are talking about the husband. Before the marriage, if she is working already or she planned to work, whatever the condition, if he said, please, if you are working, I want you to help with the family expense, 10%, 15, 20%, whatever. If you agree, you have to fulfill the condition. And this is something that I mentioned in the seminar that we are taking about the premarital counseling. All these things need to be there. And the opinion that I'm in favor of, if the woman, she is working, she has to contribute something, because it's not fair that she goes and work and keep all the money while he goes and work and spend everything. This kind of marriage doesn't work. On the other hand, there is nothing that she has to pay 50% or this or that, otherwise it becomes roommate. So, but you need to discuss it. As far as her mahr or dowry, it's her, 100%. That is her full right. And I mentioned, anybody who blackmailed the sister, the woman, by telling her, oh, your family is cheap, you are just behind the money or this or that, until the poor woman, she got embarrassed and she said, I don't want your mahr anymore. Does not mean it becomes halal for you. No, because she gave it out of guilt and out of embarrassment. And the Prophet ﷺ said this rule. And that's why people who are working in fundraising, and so they need to pay attention to that. Anything that is taken from anybody out of guilt or embarrassment is haram. If you embarrass somebody, like you go to visit the house of somebody, and mashallah, you see something, whatever in the house, and you start saying, I wish I can have it. Oh, wallahi, I don't have the money, otherwise I will buy it, and this, until the person, the host, feels shame and guilt. I say, just take it. No, it's haram, because you take it, ما أخذ بسيف الحياء فهو حرام, because he didn't give it out of free will. So any husband, especially in the beginning, that's why I tell the sister, if he told you that you are cheap, you are behind the money, you are this, tell him yes. Sheikh said yes, it's okay to be cheap, because that is your right. But subhanallah, if he gives you free, he has nothing to do with it and so on, and after a while you decided to drop half of it or all of it back and give it to him, mashallah, this is awesome. So there is nothing in the Quran or in the Hadith that says that this money belongs to the husband. No, no. I hope maybe if you are not talking about the father is something else. There is hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said, you and what you own belongs to your father. And does not mean here it's an abuse from the father. He wants just to show the importance of the father over his children. Yeah. So in the case that the father is poor or is in need, yes, he's entitled of that money. But if he is okay and so on, he cannot come and say, look, the hadith says, I want all your money. No, it doesn't work like this. Why is Dhuhr and Asr Salah prayer in silence? That is the Sunnah. SubhanAllah. You know, when it comes to the worship, the act of worship, this is the right term. Otherwise, everything is worship. Going and working with the intention to provide for your family and not to be a burden is a worship. So the act of worship, we cannot see why. I don't know. That is the Sunnah. Of course, there is wisdom. We don't know them. Subhanallah, it should be the opposite. Fajr should be 4 rak'ah, according to us. Because after long sleep, you are, mashallah, awake, you are this, you should have. But it's only 2 rak'ah. But of course, the Fajr recitation of the Quran is long. Maghrib is 3, 4, we don't know. Because here is like the military, is to show your submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the wisdom behind Dhuhr and Asr to be silent, that's what Allah said, that's what the Prophet said. So, and this applies, by the way, to everything. Why the pork is haram? Always give this generic answer, because Allah said so and the Prophet said so. Then you may give some of the wisdom that the science or the medicine is talking about. But the main one, because you put yourself on the safe side. God says it's haram. That's it. And for me, that's enough. And this is, by the way, is a logical understanding. Because why I'm trusting Allah? If He told me it's haram, that's it. I don't need anything else. Because I studied who's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I come to the conclusion without any single doubt that He is the most wise, the most knowledgeable, the most merciful, this and that. He knows the seen and the unseen. He is the creator. So if He said something, do, hadir, yes, God. If He said don't, yes, God. So take that. And you will be on the safe side, inshallah. So we are done with this question. If I say something right, it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I say anything wrong, it's from myself and shaitan, and Allah and His Messenger has nothing to do with it. And sometimes if I don't answer, because I answer the question according to my understanding of the question, always you can send your feedback if you want more, inshallah. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا أبدا ما أحييتنا واجعله الوارث منا واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا وانصرنا على من عادانا ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا إلى النار مصيرنا ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك فينا ولا يرحمنا اللهم ارفع مقتك وغضبك عنا اللهم ارفع مقتك وغضبك عنا ولا تهلكنا بما فعل السفهاء منا اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عنا اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين واعل بفضلك كلمتي الحق والدين اللهم ول على المسلمين خيارهم وقو شوكتهم ووحد كلمتهم وردهم ونحن معهم إلى دينك مردا جميلا واحفظ بلادهم واجعلها بلادا آمنة مطمئنة يا رب العالمين اللهم وأطلق سراح المسجونين وفرج هم المهمومين ونفس كرب المكروبين واقض الدين عن المدينين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين واشفنا واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين اللهم اشفنا واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم ارفع عنا وعن المسلمين الأمراض والأسقام والأوجاع والأوبئة والأمراض القاتلة والأمراض المزمنة يا رب العالمين. عافنا والمسلمين في أبداننا وأسماعنا وأبصارنا. اللهم الطف بنا فيما جرت به المقادير. اللهم الطف بنا فيما جرت به المقادير. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا واسعا وشفاء من كل داء. اللهم حبب لنا فعل الخيرات وترك المنكرات وحب المساكين. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث. أصلح لنا شأننا كله ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين. Oh Allah, we ask you in this blessed night to take away this pandemic. Oh Allah, give us al-afiyah. Oh Allah, give us al-afiyah. Oh Allah, those who are being affected by this virus, give them speedy recovery and give them shifa. Protect us and protect our children and our families and our loved ones and our communities and everybody from this virus. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, nobody can protect us except you. We ask you to protect us and protect our families, Ya Allah, and keep this virus away from us, inshallah, and give us al-afiyah. We Allah, we ask you for al-afiyah. We Allah, we ask you for al-afiyah in our health, in our wealth, in our family, in our community, in our institutions. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون. سلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.